episode of Thought Leaders of Tomorrow. Today we have with us Akshay Verma, the founder of Beverages and Beyond, which is an organization that provides beverage education, mixologists for hire and lots more. And we're going to have a chat with Akshay and understand the F&B sector and the hospitality industry. Hi Akshay, welcome to our show.
Hi Ravia, thank you so much.
Great, so should we get started?
Sure.
Okay, so my first question to you is, what has your journey in the hospitality sector been so far? What's it been like? How did you get started?
No, I wouldn't say very new to the industry, but I'm more of a fresher. I've been in this industry for about 3 years. Mm-hmm. So I started off my journey, I graduated from Christ University, Bangalore. I did my hotel management there. Mm-hmm. And after that, I worked with multiple brands like Shangri-La and Taj and, a couple of resto bars and pubs. And my longest stint was with Big Brewski Brewing Company in Hennur, where I joined as a bartender, and I worked there for almost 2 years, moving up the ladder, and covering various roles from bar operations to menu designing to guest relationship and sales and marketing and costing, inventory, purchasing. And I worked there till about last year, and then I quit to pursue my own dreams and do something on my own. Mm-hmm. So that is how I landed up with Beverages and Beyond.
That's great. Like you said, you're fairly new and you're a younger leader in this sphere. How do you think younger professionals like yourself can actually bring a change within the hospitality industry? In what ways do you think you can do that?
Okay, so I feel that the hospitality industry is ever changing. Every time you look at the industry, there's a new trend that's happening. Let it be in the travel and tourism space, or even in the F&B space, or in the accommodation space. But it's continuously evolving, and you need someone who's keeping up with these trends and who can think on their feet and keep up with the pace that the industry is evolving at. So I feel that's where the young leaders or the fresh blood come into the picture. But that being said, I also feel that this is an industry where experience also plays an important role. So I feel that the best would be if the senior, more experienced people work hand in hand with the young leaders and provide their expertise and mentorship, and then the hospitality level industry can reach a new level.
Absolutely. So coming to Beverages and Beyond, tell us a little bit about your organization and what sets it apart from other similar hospitality endeavors like that.
Okay, great. So this is my favorite part. I love to talk about my company. So I would say that Beverages and Beyond. So let me just give you a brief history on Beverages and Beyond. So how it started off was actually I actually thought of I wanted to do something with my free time, and I thought I might as well give out my knowledge to people who would actually make some benefit off of it. And that the response was pretty good. And then I started off doing small workshops and doing a few online courses and stuff. And I had a lot of demand from people all over the country, and even a few people from outside the country. Mm-hmm. So that's how it started off. And today Beverages and Beyond has been around for about 7 months, and we deal with 3 main verticals. One, as you previously mentioned, was the online beverage education, where we teach people, whether you are a beginner or you are a professional, we have something for you. And the second part is home consultancy, where we help people set up bars at home according to their space availability and their budget and stuff, right from the decor to the equipment to the kind of beverages and cocktail mixers and glassware that they could have, and also probably design specially curated menus for house parties and these kind of events that people are having at home nowadays. And the third and final part would be the manufacture of handcrafted signature cocktail mixers, which is not yet started, will be starting soon. But that's basically a cocktail in a bottle without the alcohol. So you just add in the suggested spirit and you can enjoy a cocktail anywhere. And if you're a person who doesn't drink alcohol or doesn't want to drink alcohol, you can just top up the mixer with some soda or some tonic water and you can enjoy it as a refreshing cocktail. So that's basically what Beverages and Beyond does. So coming to the part of what sets Beverages and Beyond apart, like you asked. I would say that the main thing is customization and personalization. Because if you look at other institutions or establishments that have been around in India, especially that are into beverage education, they have a very set syllabus or a set course plan, and you have a couple of options from which you choose, and they teach you whatever is listed in that. Whereas when it comes to beverages and beyond, we ask the customer or the client what exactly they want to know. How simple do they want it to be, or how in depth do they want it to be, and we curate a course keeping in mind their desire for knowledge, what exactly they want to focus on. And also being it's a very interactive and personalized session. It can be done online, it can be done even in person, it can be done one-on-one or in a group as well, however the people prefer it. And again, we are also looking at the other sector. So my whole aim was to make Beverages and Beyond a one-stop shop where you're getting the knowledge for making a cocktail. We'll help you set up a space in your own comfort zone to help you make these cocktails. And if you're a bit too lazy to actually go through the process of getting the ingredients and making cocktail, we are giving you the cocktail mixes as well, where you just need to barely add in the alcohol and just enjoy it. So you have everything under one roof, and that was what the aim was, and that's what we're working towards.
That sounds really interesting. Okay, so coming to sustainability. So sustainability, I think, is more important than ever today, given the whole climate crisis. And how do you think the hospitality industry is incorporating sustainability into the way they function? Do you think enough is being done in that space?
Okay, so yes, like you mentioned, sustainability, of course, is very much important given the condition of the environment nowadays. But yeah, it has been changing, of course, over the past decade. I would say when 10 years ago, people didn't even understand what sustainability was, and now there are a lot of people who are coming up with sustainable restaurants, sustainable hotels, eco-friendly projects, I would say. So it is obviously changing, but I feel that it should be moving at a slightly faster pace, especially in India, because there are a lot of things that are being done, but there are a lot of more things that could be done to contribute more to the sustainability factor. Some of the points that come off in the top of my mind are probably energy conservation in hotels and restaurants and stuff, let it be your heating or your electricity or your air conditioning or whatever it is. Water conservation, reusing and recycling of materials, and waste reduction. So I actually had this, I got to visit this establishment where they would actually use their waste paper or leftover paper to actually manufacture their own packaging material, which they would use for their takeaway of their food. When the guest would ask for a takeaway or of the parcel of food, they would manufacture their own with the reused paper and recycled paper, and that way they're reducing their carbon footprint. And they're using whatever the ingredients in their raw materials are. That is something that I feel that a lot of people could get into. Then you also have something known as a 0 mile factor, which I feel is very important. So 0 mile factor is basically when the ingredients or the materials used in a restaurant, let it be the food, fruits, vegetables, meat, whatever it is, are locally sourced. So instead of having it flown in from a different country or traveled over road by from a different city or whatever, you are the carbon footprint is much higher in that. But if you design your menu and your concept around the locally available and locally sourced ingredients, that reduces all this stuff, and it's much more eco-friendly. There is actually a hotel, a very small boutique hotel in Japan, that has a terrace garden where 95% of their fruits and vegetables are self-grown, and they use those to serve the food to their guests. So I think these kind of concepts could also be incorporated here, because we have the labor in India, we have the expertise, probably, yes, and we also have a bit of the space. So why not give it a shot? Probably it could click in it, or it could be a theme of a sort.
Absolutely.
So and the main part about sustainability, I feel, is that it is not just the point of the establishments doing their part, but also the customers taking an initiative. If me also, I have been a customer, and I've also been a person who's providing a service or a product. So when I'm approached by a person and asked to make a different decision or given an option of a more sustainable outcome, I personally might not be very comfortable because it's something out of my comfort zone. It's something I haven't experienced before, and also something I'm not very aware about. So I feel that these establishments that are taking sustainability seriously should also put in a few simple steps to educate their customers and broaden their view, so that the customers also are involved in it, and they can choose a more beneficial and more sustainable option.
Right. So, coming to the COVID-19 pandemic, how has it impacted your organization? Are you seeing like any specific changes, which I'm sure there must be, and how have you kind of managed to sustain your client relationships within all of this changing?
Okay, so actually, if I look at it, COVID-19 has actually been a good thing for Beverages and Beyond, because the concept of Beverages and Beyond actually came up when I was in lockdown, when I was in quarantine and I couldn't, step out of the house. And I was actually waiting to get into my master's program in UK, and I was supposed to leave the country. But thanks to COVID-19, that didn't happen. So I was just looking at options and exploring stuff that I could do. And that's when someone got in touch with me and asked me if I would conduct some kind of workshops or courses for them, because they wanted to do something in their free time and learn a little bit about mixology, bartending and stuff. So I thought, okay, maybe this is something I could do, and I started to look into that and started to publicize it through my social media and my friends and family, and it just started to pick up. So then one thing led to another, and since then there's been no looking back. It's only been marching forward. So I will probably say, some people would say, turning adversity into opportunity. So I feel that when life gives you something unexpected, or some kind of a challenge or some kind of an adversity, there is always a seed of growth and opportunity within it. It's just that you need to look for it and identify it and pick it up and get running with it. Absolutely. So if you're always within your comfort zone, then you will never, be the best of who you can.
Thank you so much, Akshay. Finally, one last question, on a question more like your parting remarks.
Sure.
For anyone who wants to, come into the hospitality industry, do you have any message for them, like, what they should look out for, and, how they should kind of visualize their journey when they're coming into this industry?
Sure. See, hospitality industry it's a pretty difficult industry, I would say, especially for a fresher. The first few years are very hard. It's very physically and mentally draining and demanding. But it's something that eventually pays off. And I feel this is an industry that you can't just work for having a job's sake. You need to be into the industry. You need to be having a goal that you're working towards. That will only keep you going through your initial struggles. Because if you're doing it just saying that it's just a way of me earning my livelihood, then you will not last for very long, is what I feel. And it always helps that before you actually get into industry as a professional, when you are pursuing your education or whatever, to have an idea of where you want to be. Have, like, whether you want to be a chef, you want to get into beverages, you want to get into whatever the different fields are. So have an idea and have a plan of how you're going to get there, and always jump at opportunities. Like, if you have an internship or if you have an opportunity to work with a particular hospitality brand during your educational journey, then you should always take that, because what you learn in college and when you actually experience it firsthand in a hotel or a restaurant, it's very, very different. So when people might be very good at the theoretical part and very into it, but when they actually have to deal with the practical aspect on hands, it becomes a little overwhelming for them. So I would always suggest that have a goal, get as much experience as you can, and network a lot with industry leaders and people who've been in the industry for a long time, and get their advice and their guidance, and then make an informed decision and just follow your heart. If something you really love, just follow your heart and just don't look back. Just keep moving ahead and you will make it one day for sure.
Perfect. Thank you so much for chatting with us today. It was really nice speaking with you, Akshay.
Same here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.